Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is 1 o'clock on Thursday, March 17th. This is the regular meeting of the City Council, the Library and Observatory Board, Housing Authority Board, and the City Council representing the redevelopment successor agency. At this time, I will ask our City Attorney, Steve Quintanilla, to lead us in the flag salute.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Christy, may we have a roll call, please?
Of course. Councilmember Downs?
Present.
Councilmember Kite?
Here.
Councilmember Smotrich? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Townsend?
Here.
Mayor Weil?
Here. At this time, we will have a presentation by Fire Captain Matthew Gatta from Station 50. Captain, if you would. Looks to me like you've got some bodyguards with you as well. And welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, and staff. This is an introduction to Fire Captain Matthew Gatta, which is a new fire captain newly promoted to Fire Station 50 on Highway 111, which is currently going through a remodel process. Fire Captain Gatta comes to us as he worked with us in the area, Indian Wells, as a firefighter paramedic. And he's since promoted through the ranks, and we were lucky enough to have him back here in the city of Rancho Mirage serving the community. So Captain Gatta is very well versed and has a lot of education and experience, and he's eager to provide that to the citizens of Rancho Mirage. So Fire Station 50 houses a fire engine, paramedic fire engine, and a paramedic ambulance. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce to you Fire Captain Gatta.
Good afternoon, Matthew Gatta, Fire Station 50 on the south end of the city. Thank you to the chief and the city for the opportunity. And just know that we are always ready for what the city or the citizens may need from us.
Well, thank you, Captain. We know you're always ready because we get nothing but glowing reports about CAL FIRE. And that's been the case for a long time. Whenever, you go out on a call representing the city, you get great accolades with your professionalism and the way that you treat our residents here in Rancho Mirage. So, Captain, we welcome you and glad you're back at Station 50 and hope you have a long and enjoyable stay here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. At this time, I will ask for a non-agenda public comments. If you would, Christy, do you have any cards?
Certainly, I do. That's really loud. Hold on one second.
What was that?
Better? Have an echo. Okay, maybe that's better. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. So we do have a couple of speaker cards. If anyone in the audience would like to speak, there's speaker cards outside the door. For anyone participating remotely, you can let us know that if you wish to speak by pressing *9 on your phone or hitting the raise hand button on Zoom. Our first speaker is Patrick Lowry.
Good afternoon. Patrick Lowry, 17-year, almost 18-year resident. I just wanted 30 seconds extra to thank two people here. Mr. Cotting, who took the time to give me a call and put up with me, thank you. And Pilar, who took care of an interesting situation I bumped into. So every time I deal with this city, I meet good people who get the job done. Thank you. Now we're going to have my 3 minutes. I guess I should say one more thing. If that's the fire station up here, they saved my life twice, 2 heart attacks. and I'm still here. So watch out. It's going to take a lot. Listen, today, you know, when I looked on your site, you had, or I noticed from you that it's St. Patrick's Day. And this is one of the tough things that you guys really bug me about. You say nothing about Black history. You say nothing about International Ladies' Day or Ladies' Month. I'd rather see those things come out or come out alongside St. Patrick's Day. Also, and because of the Children's Museum, right, which is it you, Mayor, that is so involved? I think so. Today is Incredible Kid Day. This is an important day. This is a day you send notes out to your children, grandchildren, and tell them why they're incredible. You should have posted that. Simple. And then the fourth item is the issue of the Ukraine. And I brought with me a sticker for each one of your cars. Blue goes on top. Took me a while to figure that one out. When you talk about children's museums, and you talk about children, over 115 children now have been killed in that war, killed because of the war. And we need to speak up a bit. Some of the cities around here have. Thousands in the U.S. have spoken up about their support for the Ukraine. I'd like to see us get on board with that. Now, my real issue here is the issue of safety. I gave you numbers last time I saw you. Numbers like 1 in 47, 1 in 44, 1 in 58. We rank among the poorest when it comes to property crime. Okay, we rank worse than LA, worse than California in general. We here, each one of us stands a 1 in 24 chance of being involved in property crime. Now, I started on this little quest because I don't see enough sheriff's cars. Certainly not by the contract we have with the Sheriff's Department, which is we're supposed to get 83 hours a day, somehow split up among 15 patrol persons. And we're supposed to have 2 motorcycle officers. I am believing that the motorcycle officers are pure myth. I think I've seen them 3 times, one time here in one of the meetings. So I'm hoping that the city will find the time, take the time, to make sure we're getting what we're contracted to get. And I don't want to give you a challenge, because you may see them and I miss them. But just look around as you drive and see if you see sheriff's cars with 25 square miles. Take out the HOAs, take out the golf courses. All that, we're probably down to a very small number of square miles to really cover. And if we've got 83 hours in the course of a day, we ought to be seeing these people a lot. So please keep in mind the issue of crime. It's rising. And physical crime, crime against our citizens, hitting them on the head, walking off with a purse, is rising also. So again, great to see you. Hope you're listening to me, especially on the Ukraine. This is important, okay? This is democracy. No matter how this war ends, the world's going to change because NATO's going to change. Big stuff. So thank you very much. Good to see you. Thanks to Mr. Coddington for putting up and Pilar for doing such a good job for me. Thank you.
Next speaker is Brad Anderson.
Good morning, Brad Anderson, City of Rancho Mirage. I just wanted to speak on something that was spoken at the last meeting. I missed it totally. I misread the agenda concerning your, I think it's action item number 5 of last meeting, modifying the membership of certain boards and commissions to allow, if I can say it correctly, ex officio members to attend and voice opinions at those meetings. I thought it was for commission members that left the board. I didn't know it was for every single council member. I would have to oppose that just because of the potential undue influence and possibly intimidation that each city council member may have over council or the committee members or commission members, I guess, and board members. Of course, that being said, I understand that having, I want to say entrenched city council members, but long-serving council members, and having most of the people on those boards appointed by the current council. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think it's necessary unless you have a rogue commission member that you want to rang in, but I would disagree that you have to do that. I understand that you can go to those meetings just like I can, and your board or commission members could ask for your advice, but actually to give it freely, well, I understand it's not a voting. I'm going around and around, but I would have to oppose that. I'm going to go ahead and submit a letter later about that, just because I think it has something to do with possibly the Disney Operation Area 31 and the meeting that you had with those developers, where I understand that most of you met with those and had open discussions. And of course, that's a public meeting. And my whole aspect of this is apparently this is post-dated or predated after or before this resolution. So it kind of covers everything you've done up to that point. So I would have to disagree. I'm going to leave it at that, and thank you very much.
That was the last speaker card I have. Again, if anyone remotely would like to participate, has comments, you would push *9 on your phone or raise hand on Zoom. Is there anyone else in the audience who did not fill out a speaker card but wishes to speak? Seeing no one, and there is also no one on Zoom.
Oh, thank you. That concludes the non-agenda public comments. We'll go to council board comments. And Charlie, I'll start with you if you have any.
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Iris?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Steve Downs is with us remotely. He was not feeling terrific. Steve, obviously, if you're listening, you're more than welcome to participate. I believe that you have decided that you're going to save your voice to the next meeting.
I have, Mr. Mayor. I'll have comments at the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Of course. That leaves our senior member of our council, Richard Kite, and I can tell you this, Richard, I've had the pleasure of serving with Richard as a delegate to the Bighorn Institute for a number of years. Richard has been extremely active and very influential and goes back a long time and was very involved with the city approving the construction of the fence to protect the Bighorn Institute from roaming down onto Highway 111. So that was part of Richard's heritage here for many years. And with that, I'll ask you to talk about the Bighorn Institute a little bit.
Thank you, Mayor. I really appreciate that. I'm really excited about the bighorn habitat in Rancho Mirage. The city of Rancho Mirage has been a long-term supporter of the Bighorn Institute, and after all, the bighorn sheep is the adopted brand of our city. The Bighorn Institute is dedicated to the conservation of the bighorn sheep in Southern California. They monitor the wild bighorn population of the Coachella Valley. The northern Santa Rosa Mountains herd, which is the herd for Rancho Mirage, is thriving. There are currently almost 110 bighorns in the herd, with nearly half of them male and the other half female. 10 females currently work daily functioning radio collars. They are attached to monitor the health and reproduction of the bighorn. To date, at least 20 bighorns or lambs have been born in the northern Santa Rosa Mountains herd this year, and we expect that to increase before the end of the year. Since the completion of the Rancho Mirage $1 million fence that Ted mentioned in 2002, the northern Santa Rosa adult population has increased to slightly less than 40 to to over 100 today. The Bighorn Institute is privately funded and hosts 2 main events each year. The Spring Fling in August or April 28th at Stone Eagle, and their regular annual party, which they hold in November. If you'd like more information about the Institute, the Spring Fling fundraiser, or how you can help, visit the website at www.bighorninstitute.org. And I really encourage you to get out and see what's going on up in the mountains. Look at the bighorn around there. You'll really enjoy it and learn a little bit more about the desert bighorn. So, Ted, thank you very much. I appreciate your support of the bighorn over the years. Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, I will say this, the Institute does a great job. Jim and Amy are tireless workers, and the board is very, very dedicated. So we thank them for everything that they do, and it's and of course it's a great symbol for our city. I have been asked a number of times regularly as to the status of the Wolfson Park update. I'll give you a brief update on that right now. The Wolfson Park property, as you're aware, is at the corner of Duval and Frank Sinatra. It's a charming, charming park, extremely popular for the dog walkers, and leads to the entrance to the Butler Abrams Trail. In calendar year 2020, the city was fortunate to acquire a 1-acre parcel to the east of the Wolfson Park. Later that year, the city demolished the dilapidated home and, with the help of the Parks and Trails Commission, commenced design on an expansion project. The expansion will enhance the existing neighborhood park by adding approximately 20 parking spaces, walking paths and connection to the Butler Abrams Trail, picnic tables, benches and bike rack, flagpoles, and an entry monument sign. The project is out for public bidding with an anticipated contract award at the April 21st council meeting. Construction will begin in May or June and be completed in the fall of 2022. Ryan Stendell is our Director of Public Works. He is heading up this program, doing just a wonderful job. And Ryan, we thank you so much for your effort. This will be, again, another wonderful addition for our, frankly, amazing city. With that, that concludes the council comments, and I will ask the city manager if he has any comments.
None today. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
That being said, is there any additions or contractions to the minutes of March 3rd? Otherwise, I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move the approval of the March 3rd regular meeting.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. A roll call, please, Christie.
Councilmember Downs?
Approved.
Councilmember Kite?
Approved.
Councilmember Smotrich? Mayor Pro Tem Townsend?
Yes.
Mayor Weil?
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
and the minutes are approved. With that, we will move to the consent calendar that will be handled by our city manager, Isaiah Hagerman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Members of the council, you have 5 items on your consent calendar for consideration. Item number 1 is to adopt joint resolution number 2022, next in order, making findings pursuant to Government Code Section 54953 as amended by Assembly Bill 361 and authorizing continued remote teleconference meetings of the City Council and affiliated agencies and all other city-affiliated Brown Act bodies in accordance with AB 361 during the current state of emergency related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Item number 2 is to receive and file the annual board commission reports. Item number 3 is the approval of 3 awards to 3 nonprofits for a total of $6,000 through the Special Assistance Funds. Item number 4 are contracts, and item number 5 are demands. And before we go to council comments or questions, if any member of the public wishes to speak on the consent calendar, now is the time. If you are participating remotely, you would hit the raise hand button on Zoom or *9 on your telephone. And Christy, you want to take it from here?
Yes, so we do have one speaker card, Brad Anderson.
Thank you again, Brad Anderson. I live in the city of Rancho Mirage. I'm opposed to consent calendar item number 1. That's for the remote meeting to allow the city council members or commission board members to remotely attend these meetings at home or to private residences out of the public view. I understand the premise of this, but it's way overdue. It's being, in my opinion, it's being used as a convenience factor to save gas, maybe. It's a good thing. But anyway, I've not only documented, I've documented many cities, and this one including, where you have board members, commission members attending other group functions, but they won't attend the meetings. And I disagree with that because I believe as elected officials, and you all today, or except one, should be approachable by the public in a public forum like this one. And when you take that away, and again, I want to remind these council members and people listening that this is a suspension or really elimination of Brown Act safeguards, which were in place mainly for corruption, and those are just being thrown out the windows. There's other legislation in Sacramento moving up right now, which is going to really make this permanent, and and that's a sad day for Californians because you're taking safeguards away for convenience factors and other aspects of this, and it's far past any safety measures now. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Okay, it looks like there's no one that wants to participate remotely that has comments. Anyone in the audience did not submit a speaker card but wishes to speak? And there was no one there either.
Thank you. Is there anybody on the council that would like to make any comments regarding the consent calendar? I see none. I will ask for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Mr. Mayor, I will make the motion to approve the consent calendar as read.
I'll second that. There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Christie.
Councilmember Downs?
Yes.
Councilmember Kite?
Yes.
Councilmember Smotrich? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Townsend?
Yes.
Mayor Weil?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. The next item will be the City Council to adopt a resolution number 2022, next in order, adjusting electric generation rate schedule for Rancho Mirage Energy Authority, and that will be handled by Jessica Pulliam. Jessica, if you would. I tried to slow it down enough for you to get there comfortably.
Perfect. Good afternoon, Mayor Weil, members of the City Council. The item I'll be discussing today is a resolution approving adjusted electric generation rate schedules for the Rancho Mirage Energy Authority. Staff is here today as Southern California Edison has recently implemented a rate adjustment. RMEA reviews and adjusts alongside SCE to ensure a customer savings is achieved while also ensuring rates reflect current power market costs. Since its launch in May of 2018, RMEA has provided cleaner energy and saved the community over $3 million. We provide direct savings to the community on their electric bills by competitively adjusting rates when SCE adjusts their rates. RMEA is saving residents money and has put almost $1,000 directly back into residents' pockets through the Rancho Mirage Solar and Battery Rebate Program, which is only available to RMEA participants. RMEA also provides residents the power to choose to be even greener by opting up to the 100% premium renewable energy choice for all their power needs. It's affordable at only 0.9 of a cent more per kilowatt compared to the base choice, which comes to less than $10 per month for most. It's very simple to opt up. It can be completed online through the website by scanning the QR code on the screen now with a cell phone camera, or by directly inputting ranchomirageenergy.org into a browser. Also, you can keep it simple and just call 760-578-6092. At this time, I'd like to remind residents and businesses and let them know that we are always available and here to help. If you have questions regarding your electric bill or the RMEA program, please do not hesitate to contact us. With that, it is staff's recommendation to adjust RMEA rates to adjust along SCE while continuing to provide overall savings to customers. That concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jessica. Is there anyone that has submitted a question?
No, we do have no speaker cards on this. If you're participating remotely and have comments, please push *9 on your phone or raise hand on Zoom. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak? Seeing none, and also seeing no hands raised on Zoom.
Thank you. I'll say this, that we as council members will get a number of inquiries from people when they get their bill. I will acknowledge it can be very confusing. We look at it. I rely upon an expert in this area, basically my wife, and say, what does this mean? And if I don't know and she doesn't know, I call Jessica. We, as council members, fall back upon that same solution, to call Jessica. She does a great job. It's not easy because many times our constituents will start off with a sentence like, why is my bill so high? I didn't pay this much last year. And that's understandable. Separate and apart from rates increasing, it can be confusing and complicated. So it takes patience, and Jessica indeed has that. So we thank you, as always, for the job that you do. Is there anybody on the council that would like to make a comment? No. Seeing none, then I will ask for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Okay. I move that the City Council adopt resolution number 2022, next in order, adjusting electric generation rate schedule for Rancho Mirage Energy Authority.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Downs?
Yes.
Councilmember Kite?
Yes.
Councilmember Smotrich?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Townsend? Yes. Mayor Weil?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. The next item will also be handled by Jessica Pulliam, and that is the City Council adopt resolution number 2022, next in order, in support of net energy metering. Jessica, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mayor Weil. The next item I'll be discussing is a proposed resolution to demonstrate support of net energy metering to support sustainable continued growth of customer-sited solar energy installations. Customers who install small solar, wind, biogas, and fuel cell generation facilities to serve all or a portion of on-site electricity needs are eligible for net energy metering or the NIM program. NIM allows customers who generate their own energy to serve their energy needs directly on site and to receive a financial credit on their electric bills for any surplus energy fed back to the grid. The current NIM program was adopted by the California Public Utility Commission, the CPUC, in January of 2016. The program provides customer generators rate credits for energy exported to the grid and requires them to pay charges that align NIM customer costs more closely with non-NIM customer costs. NIM is designed to support the installation of customer-sited renewable energy generation. Recently, the CPUC launched a formal proceeding to update the current NIM structure. The new rulemaking is referred to as NIM 3.0 because this is the third iteration of the NIM program. Over 17 proposals were submitted to the CPUC for consideration, including a joint proposal by the state's big three investor-owned utilities, the joint IOUs, which include Pacific Gas and Electric, Southern California Edison, and San Diego Gas and Electric. In relevant part, the joint IOUs call for changes that would extend the payback period for customer-sited solar systems significantly beyond the payback periods that would result from other proposals. The payback period is an estimate of how many years of bill savings would be required to recover the upfront costs of new solar plus storage systems. A shorter payback period reflects a proposal that is more favorable to NIM participants. Additionally, the joint IOU's proposal contained a feature of new fixed fees on NIM 3.0 customers called grid benefit charges, which would make it very difficult for customer-sided renewable generation installations to continue to grow sustainably as mandated. Opponents of the Big Three IOU's joint proposal claim that it would hinder the state's highly successful rooftop solar market, which is a key strategy to the state reaching its lofty clean energy and environmental goals. Fortunately, in February, the CPUC decided to indefinitely delay the NIM 3.0 proposal after receiving significant opposition. The purpose for the delay is for further analysis of the various proposals and their impacts to customers and the solar industry. To show support for changes that would benefit all customers and the state's clean energy goals, staff recommends the City Council adopt a resolution with key goals that are consistent with the city's sustainability goals, including urging the protecting and expansion of rooftop solar, expanding clean energy access by making it easier to adopt rooftop solar and energy storage, not harder, urging the exclusions of provisions set forth in the IOU proposal, such as high monthly fixed fees or the reducing or elimination of credits for sharing electricity with the power grid. With that, it is staff's recommendation that the City Council adopt a resolution in support of net energy meeting to support sustainable continued growth of customer-sided solar energy installations. That concludes my presentation, and I will take any questions now.
Thank you, Jessica. Is there any public comment that has been requested?
No speaker cards. If you're participating remotely and you have comments, please push *9 on your phone or raise hand on Zoom. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, and also seeing no one on Zoom.
Thank you. I will say this, that the city certainly has done everything possible to support and encourage the use of solar. We initiated a rebate on the cost of installation of an initial solar system, an addition to the solar system, as well as a storage capability. So I think the city demonstrates sustainability wherever and whenever possible. So we therefore feel that this is a justifiable area for us to support. That being said, does anybody else have a comment about this? No? Okay. Please do.
I move that the City Council adopt Resolution Number 2022 next in order in support of net energy metering to support sustainable continued growth of customer-sited solar energy installations.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Downs?
Yes.
Councilmember Kite?
Yes.
Councilmember Smotrich?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Townsend?
Yes.
Mayor Weil?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda will be handled by our Director of Administrative Services, Kofi Antebaum, and that is regarding the Ritz-Carlton Rancho Mirage Spa Suites lease extension and operating covenant agreement. Kofi, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, Council. So this item relates to the 4 spa suites that are owned by the city at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. In March of 2017, the city and New Age Rancho Mirage LLC entered into 4 residential lease agreements for a 5-year term. The leases expire this month, and New Age has requested a 5-year extension for each of the 4 spa suites at the current annual cumulative rent of $250. The 2021-2022 Ritz-Carlton Subcommittee, which consists of Mayor Weil and Councilmember Kite, and staff met on March 9, 2022 to review New Age's request. And at this time, the committee and staff recommends approval. If approved, the fiscal impact will be that the city will be receiving a cumulative amount of $1,250,000 for the 5-year term. That concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks.
Thank you, Kofi. Are there any public comments that you have, Christy?
Again, if you're participating remotely and you would like to comment, please hit *9 on your phone or raise hand on Zoom. I do not have any speaker cards. Would anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? Seeing no one, and there's no one on Zoom.
Is there any comments by my colleagues on the dais?
Mr. Mayor, the only thing I'd like to mention is that 5 years ago, when we put this program together, it was really important for the Ritz-Carlton to get this funding. And the city looked at a lot of different alternatives, and the spa suite situation really looked like the best. Good cash flow, little risk, and really a benefit to one of our major hotels in the area. So without the spa suite, additional cash flow, I think the hotel would have had to look for other funding means. So I support this, and I think 5 years at 5% is a pretty good rate at this time.
Indeed it is. And certainly the Ritz has been a valuable asset to our city. It's contributed significantly to the transient occupancy tax, and we look forward to their continuing participation. Each year it seems to get better, and I will say this, that as a result of hopefully the pandemic being eliminated to a large degree, occupancy rates have increased significantly, as well as the room rates. That portends well for continued cash flow as far as the city is concerned. That being said, I will ask for a motion regarding the Ritz extension.
Well, I will make the motion then that the City Council, A, approve the 6th Amendment to the First Amended and fully restated operating covenant between the City of Rancho Mirage and New Age Rancho Mirage LLC, and B, approve 4 residential lease extensions agreements between the City of Rancho Mirage and New Age Rancho Mirage LLC for lease extensions of spa suites having until numbers 4226, 4227, 4229, and 4230 for an additional 5 years.
I'll second that.
Now, there is a motion and a second. Christy, roll call, please.
Councilmember Downs?
Yes.
Councilmember Kite?
Yes.
Councilmember Smotrich?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Townsend?
Yes.
Mayor Weil?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And I'm pleased about that. And should any of the people connected with the Ritz have an opportunity to view this particular program, you will be notified. But we're pleased to be able to extend this loan and continue what we all here consider to be an excellent working relationship. That being said, I will now ask our city attorney to give us an agenda before we recess into a closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City Council is now going to recess into closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 regarding existing litigation known as vacation rental owners and neighbors of Rancho Mirage versus City of Rancho Mirage. And that's the only item on our closed session calendar for.
And
I thank you. Thank you, everybody, for
Mr. Mayor,
attending.
Mr. Mayor, we do have a speaker card for this.
Okay.
If anyone participating remotely would like to make comments, please push star 9 or raise hand on Zoom. And Brad Anderson?
Thank you. Brad Anderson, City of Rancho Mirage again. I will be brief. I just want to see a conclusion to this, or at least have some dialogue from the city legal services to the residents of the city of the process of this litigation. Just because it's an ongoing thing for a number of years, or well, this case is different, but and I'm concerned because 2 meetings prior, you went into closed session under this topic for over, close to an hour and a half, and you never had any information to extend to the public after that. And so that leads me to believe that the city council is not giving directions to the city attorney, and that's odd. If it's just a report, an hour plus is excessive. And I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I would like to see some kind of transparency on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Is there anyone else here in person who would like to speak on this item? And see no one, and there's also no one on Zoom.
All right, I thank you. I think that concludes our comments, and we will now recess into closed session.
It's 2:11, and the City Council took no reportable action in closed session. This meeting is adjourned.